Hi all, I'm Lyle Rodrigues and this is the sensor that we've built for ICRC. It has a switch that's an on-off switch. It has a little LED there that tells you the status, and it has a button that allows you to either delete all the stored data on the device, or which allows you to immediately send all the stored data to the server. It also has a little flap at the back so that you can replace the 9-volt battery that it runs on. This device doesn't have battery extended battery life isn't part of this demo, so the battery life will be around 2 to 3 hours maximum. And also with the current configuration, the device transmits the data every 10 seconds, so it monitors motion for 10 seconds and then it sends all that data at once to the server. So I'll just show you what it looks like inside. There's a controller, a Wi-Fi chip, and 3 sensors. All of these 3 work together to make this thing work. So to start off, what we need for this to work is a Wi-Fi hotspot, like your phone. If you can configure it to these credentials, it should work just fine. ICRC PRP should be the name of the network, and PRP INNO1 is the password. Once this is done, the sensor should be able to connect without a problem. So for starters, let's clear the data on the device and turn it on. To clear the data, what we have to do is hold the button while turning the switch on, and you should see a red light blink, meaning the data is cleared. Now that the sensor is running, we can go to openlogic.in to access the data from the sensor. The sensor's name is the device ID for this particular sensor is 123. So let's just enter 123, and the password is ICRC, all capital. And we've got our first set of samples from the sensor. So it shows that initially there was some motion and it's been perfectly still since then. So it's not been used at all. So every 10 seconds this device is going to try to transmit a bunch of data. If this blue light comes on there, it means that the data has been sent successfully to the server, and you'll see new readings come in at the end, which means that the data is actually coming. The timestamps recorded are against Geneva local time, so the sensor is calibrated. So when the first reading comes, it takes it as Geneva local time and it keeps adding time to it. We haven't taken into account the time taken to actually transmit the data, which out of every 10 seconds is a good 4 or 5 seconds, which means that there is some, at the end of over multiple readings, there will be some error, a growing error in the actual time. However, that's only in the prototype. Once we include the real-time clock as part of the system, we won't have any of these issues. So every 10 seconds the device tries to transmit, and you get the data. So let's move it around a bit just to see how it works. So if I move it a little bit, there should be one spike. If I move it some more, there should be another spike. So now it's trying to send that data to the cloud. You should get a blue light once the data is sent. Blue light, which means I can refresh this page and I can expect to see 2 spikes. Yeah, 2 spikes. So there was motion here, and then the device was at rest, and then there was motion again, and then it started sending. So now the second time it sends, now we should see the device has been at rest since the previous transmission. So the next time we see the blue light, we should see a flat line after those 2 spikes. Blue light, so from here we should expect to see it going flat again. And that's exactly what happened. Now there's another thing built in, which is in the case that there is no internet, say I turn my data off, or there's no network or something, the device is still going to try and send the data to the server. But if it can't make contact with the server and the server doesn't respond with a positive authentication, you'll see a red light come. That red light means the data is not sent, but it is stored within the device. So even though the data is not sent, the device is going to remember, hey, I didn't send that data, I need to send it the next time I get internet. So if we turn it on again, the next time it tries to send it, it should definitely give you a blue light, which means not only this reading but even the previous reading was sent. Done. So now we check, we should see all the data, even the one that didn't get sent initially. So I'll just do a few more samples of the motion. So move it around a little bit here and there. Blue light, we should see some amount of motion now. Okay, let's keep moving it. And that's it. So when say you're done with the device, you want to delete the history, switch it off, turn it on while pressing the button. The red light means that all the data is deleted. You can also clear the deleting the data here will not delete the data on the graph. The graph data remains stored. If you want to delete the data online, you need to click on clear history. It will say, are you sure? You say okay, and you'll get a blank graph. When you're done with that, you can log out, and just like this device ID is 123, we can have hundreds of devices with different names. Each one will have their own password, or they can have the same password, and basically this is a one-stop portal to access all the information from all the devices.